Today I'm showcasing 10 perfumes that in my mind perfectly embody the mob wife aesthetic. This is a trend that has been circulating around the internet lately, and it's essentially a departure from the clean girl trend into something that's bold, sexy, glamorous. We're talking fur coats, animal prints, nails, smoky eyes. And this is definitely a trend that has kind of blown up lately, especially since it's a little bit around the winter time, which makes it appropriate. However, this is an aesthetic that has been around for quite some time. So if we're talking about Franny Fine in The Nanny, that's an aesthetic that I have loved for a few years now. So yeah, this is nothing new, but I wanted to showcase some perfumes that I think embody that aesthetic. And the reason I said it's nothing new is because a lot of these fragrances are going to smell a little bit more vintage inspired. These are not going to be your girly, fluffy perfumes. These are dark perfumes. They are perfumes that really embody the, hey, I've been around for quite some time now, but I am here to stay. I am experienced. I know what life is about, and I am confident. So these are those fragrances. So if you're interested, definitely keep on watching. But if this is your first time here and you don't know my face, hello, my name is Anya. I love fragrances, and I post on this channel every single Wednesday, along with bonus videos in between. So yeah, let's get started. I have a mix of affordable designers, and I don't think I have any niche. Actually, I have one niche perfume today. So I'm gonna get into it with a fragrance that I picked out because this is a sweet leather perfume. This has leather and oud, and it's Velvet Oud by Lattafa. This is a fragrance I honestly could not grab for this video because it's a sweet but bold fragrance. There is leather in here. So if you're if you're a fan of leather, this might be an option for you. It's definitely a very bold fragrance, not for the faint of heart. It kind of leans a bit unisex. So yeah, Velvet Oud, this is a perfume that has a lot of presence. I also didn't want to do a video like this without including a cherry fragrance, without including something with a lot of booziness, something that was a bit more bold, as many of these fragrances are about to be. So this is Wife Perfumes Venom of Love, created in collaboration with Paulina Schar. I have featured this perfume time and time again because this is truly a standout fragrance. It's fruity, but there's booziness. It's a fragrance that lasts all day. And if you're looking for the mob wife aesthetic, I feel like this checks all the boxes. It's fruity, but I wouldn't say this is very girlish in any way. It's a fragrance that has presence. It dominates. And yeah, Venom of Love by Paulina Schar. I love this perfume. It's one of my favorite cherries in the collection. Okay, let's say that we want to go for something a little bit more softer, more fruity, but still with that classic sensibility. I'm talking about Casimir by Chopard. This is such a gorgeous perfume. I absolutely feel like this is my go-to. I have it next to my work desk because I love to spray it on throughout the day. This is a vintage perfume. I don't know how many reformulations, if any, has gone through this with this perfume, but it has been around for quite some time. So it has fruity notes like coconut, mango, and peach. However, it's done in a way that is more focused on the classic interpretation of those notes. So you have white florals here. I think you have some yellow florals as well. This is not your typical cookie cutter fruity perfume. This is much more than that. It is more on the vintage leaning side. So if you tend to like to wear vintage perfumes, this would be one to try. And I think this is a more approachable take on the mob wife aesthetic if we're talking about it in this context. It's nice. It's very comforting. I really love this perfume, and it radiates confidence without necessarily having any sort of like darkness, which a lot of these perfumes have like a dark, confident energy. This one is confident and comforting. So I really like this one. I would say this is the perfume that I kind of like picture almost a maternal figure wearing sometimes, which is why I tend to go for it a lot because it's a very comforting scent. It's just so cozy. To my mind, it smells like a vintage interpretation of like a peach tart or an apricot tart or something of that sort. It's just a very comforting perfume. So, Casimir by Chopard. I have yet to do a dark feminine fragrance video, but when I do, this fragrance will absolutely be in it. I'm talking about Elizabeth Taylor Passion. I couldn't do this video without including this fragrance, and I don't think anyone has talked about this fragrance in the mobbed wife aesthetic context yet. Okay, this is a bold perfume. I feel like this particular one is an eau de toilette. Yeah, this is an eau de toilette, but still, for an eau de toilette, it's bold. It's out there. It has notes like civet, a bit of leather, I think some vanilla, woods. It's spicy, but I really, really like it. It's, again, not for the faint of heart. It's very animalic. It's very musky. There's a bit of a powderiness to it. But this really is a mob wife perfume. If I was wearing a fur coat and I wanted to put a fragrance on that truly embodied the big hair, the eyes, the coat, the leopard print. Let's just say I was wearing leopard print. I mean, I'm wearing leopard print today. I would absolutely go for this perfume. This perfume would be like my one and done. That's it. I love this fragrance. I love this fragrance, but you definitely have to be in the mood for it. I have to be in my dark, feminine, mob wife sensibility whenever I'm wearing for this fragrance. But I will say this, when I have gravitated toward this fragrance, I tend to go in phases. I tend to reach for this perfume for a few days in a row because I like to have that. Like, I like to have this perfume just embody whatever I'm feeling, if that makes any sense. And I just love this fragrance. I think it's amazing. An eau de toilette, again, not for the faint of heart, but let's just say you are interested in maybe trying the civet note and you want something that's going to be pretty affordable, but you still, let's just say you want to try the civet note, which features very prominently in this perfume, and you want to try some Animalic accords as well, and you want something that's a little bit more affordable. This is affordable. It's pretty good. It's a great perfume to kind of experiment with, but you have to be okay with having a perfume that's potentially not going to be a fragrance you can wear a lot. Because yeah, I definitely have to pick and choose where I wear this perfume because it is a perfume with presence, and yeah, that's why I like it so much. Another fragrance with a lot of presence is Aura by Mugler. I love this perfume. I have considered buying a backup of this perfume, and I just might. Yeah, I'm like a quarter of the way done. This is like your dark vanilla with green notes, a bit of rhubarb. It's so interesting. It's a bit medicinal too. So this perfume, like, oh my gosh, so unusual, very interesting. I feel like this perfume does its best in tropical climates. Surprisingly, wouldn't expect that from such a heavy perfume, but this projects so well in humidity. I wouldn't say I would wear this around this time of year, but if you're watching this and it's a little bit warmer and it's tropical, like you're in a tropical climate, this might be one to try. Regardless, I love this perfume. I think it's amazing, and the bottle is so stunning. So yeah, Aura by Mugler, such an underrated gem. I love this fragrance. And of course, if we're talking about Mugler, we can't not talk about Alien. This, again, your beautiful classic jasmine. This is such a trendsetter when it comes to perfumes. This perfume really, honestly popularized that specific iteration of that specific jasmine scent, like the specific interpretation of the jasmine note. This is so beautiful, and it has amber. It's just a beautiful perfume. So this is, again, like your heavy, heady floral. You have to have presence to wear this perfume, but I definitely consider this fragrance something I can wear on a daily basis. So Alien by Mugler, love this one. Again, if we're talking about fragrances with presence, I have to mention Al Rahab's Rasha. This smells kind of similar to Gucci Rush, and if I had Gucci Rush, I would just include that in this video. However, I have this. This is it's like a very interesting interpretation of rose and amber. and it kind of smells plasticky. It smells like a Barbie doll head in my opinion. It smells girly, but there's something different to it. It's not your typical fragrance. And I would say, again, if you're interested in trying something a little bit more unusual, but still something that has a floral aspect to it, Rasha by Outer Hub, this is like less than $10. So yeah, I love this perfume and it's one of my favorites. I have the oil as well. The oil is very good too, but I just chose to include the perfume in the video. So there you go. We're talking about Mob Wife aesthetic. I have to include Marusia by Slava Zaitsev. Russian mob aesthetic, if you will. This is a perfume that is kind of similar to Elizabeth Taylor Passion, but it's definitely more focused on the woodiness and the white florals. It's less animalic. This is another eau de toilette, and I love this perfume. It's such a comforting fragrance for me, and I know that sounds weird, but there's something about fragrances that don't necessarily have like that contemporary sweetness that I tend to gravitate towards to like a lot. Sometimes I'm not really feeling a fragrance that's a gourmand. I want something that literally has notes done in a way that aren't like that isn't really popular anymore, but that coincidentally in my mind is in line with Mob Wife aesthetic. So that's why I'm going for this. I actually really like this. You know, I'm probably going to spray this on today. Yeah, Marusia by Slava Zaitsev. Again, an affordable option if you want to experiment with some notes and profile. A scent profile you might not be familiar with. This is pretty affordable. So yeah, I love this one. Okay, I have to include I had to include a musk in this video. Narciso by Narciso Rodriguez. It's a white floral with musk. It's more of an animalic musk. Beautiful. It has gardenia, magnolia. The musk here is animalic. It's animalic, but it's also done in a way that's like kind of like very ladylike and girly, but like still animalic. Like I mean, this perfume is suggestive. That's what I'm gonna say. This is a suggestive perfume. But I had to include a musk, and this is like by far one of my favorite musks that I've ever smelled. I'm trying to find an alternative to this just for some diversity, but so far this is my favorite. I have another rose fragrance for you. This is by Brandt. This is Genesis. I believe this is the first fragrance they ever came out with, and I really, really love this perfume. This has saffron, rose. It's a little bit woody, spicy. It's such a gorgeous fragrance, and they do have these travel sizes available, and you can also get the full-size bottle. I got the travel size. That's what I've been obsessed with. And I also have Clea as well, which I've used a lot more heavily, but I would say for this particular video, Genesis is absolutely perfect. So again, Genesis by Brandt. This is a newer niche brand that has some absolutely wonderful perfumes, and I love this one. So if you want something that's like rose but spicy, Genesis is a wonderful option. Alright, that's it for this video today. These are all the fragrances that I think truly embody the Mob Wife aesthetic. Let me know what fragrances you have in your collection that you think absolutely encapsulate this trend. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.